The moment it happened, the room felt colder than it should have. Not because of the weather, not because of the silence, because of the way she looked at me, detached, almost relieved. She stood in the doorway as if she were returning from a war only she had fought. Her bag dropped to the floor with a thud that didn't match its size. She inhaled slowly, exhaled even slower, and then she said it. 4 soft words that split the air with surgical precision. I think we're done. No tremor, no hesitation. I watched her mouth move, watched the words fall out like she'd rehearsed them in the mirror 100 times. She didn't cry. She didn't avoid my eyes. She waited for me to break first. I didn't. Inside me, something shifted. Not snapped, not shattered, shifted. Like a door unlocking in a long hallway I had ignored for years. She expected the usual routine, confusion, pleading, promises. Instead, I just stood there, hands still, breath steady, heartbeat calm in a way that felt unnatural. I asked nothing. Her brows tightened. She took it as shock. But it wasn't shock. It was calculation, because behind her calm cruelty, I caught something else. A flicker of fear, a misplaced guilt, a reaction too sharp to be simple detachment. Someone else was involved, and she assumed I didn't know. But I had seen the message, the name, the timestamp, and now I watched her struggle to maintain her script, unaware that the real performance had already begun. The betrayal wasn't loud, it didn't scream, it whispered. Weeks earlier, I'd picked up her phone by accident. Hers looked identical to mine. When the screen lit up, a message preview glowed at the top. Made it home? Miss you already. Saved under a woman's name that didn't exist. I didn't open it, didn't scroll, didn't confront. I simply placed the phone where it had been and memorized the tone of the message. The familiarity, the warmth she never used with me anymore. I waited. Over the following days, she moved differently. Softer around the edges, distant in the middle. A smile that didn't belong to me appeared now and then, an involuntary one. The kind you can't fake and can't hide. Whenever I entered the room, her posture changed. She angled her screen away. She breathed quicker for a second too long. I observed. I didn't accuse, because accusations give people time to prepare lies. Silence doesn't. She'd leave for errands that never took long before. She returned smelling faintly of someone else's cologne. Expensive, sharp, foreign. Not the kind sold nearby. Not the kind I wore. At night, she slept facing the opposite side. Not angry, guilty. The type of guilt that grows roots. Every sign pointed toward one truth, but I refused to confirm it too soon. Emotions make mistakes. Evidence doesn't. So I let her continue her quiet unraveling. I let her believe she was hiding something brilliantly. And now, as she stood in front of me claiming our relationship had reached its end on her terms, she still didn't realize I already knew. She still didn't understand the worst part. I didn't want to stop her from leaving. I wanted to know who she became when she thought she was free. I started small. Phone bills, unusual transactions, hotel proximity logs, patterns in her schedule she didn't know I tracked. She underestimated me. She always had. She forgot I built my career on reading discrepancies, numbers that didn't align, stories that contradicted themselves, timelines that exposed the truth between the lines. So, when she claimed late-night team meetings, I compared her timestamps with her office building's access records. She wasn't there. When she said she was helping her sister, I checked the sister's social media posts. She was out of town. Not a single lie she told me could hold its weight for more than a day. Still, I kept my voice soft, my behavior unchanged. A quiet storm rehearsing patience. Then there was the car. The scent of cologne deepened. Her passenger seat moved slightly back. Someone taller had been there. The music stations shifted to ones she never listened to before. Small things. But betrayal always reveals itself in the small things. I followed the trail she didn't realize she was leaving behind. Names, locations, receipts. One hotel in particular showed up twice. Different days, same room type. I booked the exact room. I walked inside. Nothing unusual, except the feeling of intrusion, except the echo of her laughter in my imagination, except the certainty that she had been here with him. I stood in that room and let the truth settle like dust. But I still needed one final piece. Not to change the outcome, just to make it undeniable. I pulled strings, quiet ones. A friend in IT owed me a favor. Another in a lab processed things without questions. For the first time in my life, I used everything I was good at for something deeply personal. And when the results arrived, clean, printed, irrefutable, I felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just confirmation. Truth has a sound, a cold, metallic click, and I heard it the moment the envelope opened. She came home humming, unaware the floor was about to disappear beneath her. I sat at the table, the envelope placed neatly in front of me. She hesitated when she saw it. Her eyes flicked to mine, searching, calculating. "What's that?" I slid it toward her with 2 fingers. She didn't touch it immediately. Her breath trembled despite the calm she tried to project. "Open it," I said. My voice was steady, too steady. She opened it. When her eyes reached the second page, her face drained color. Not gradually, instantly, like watching a soul leave a body. The hotel records, the messages, the photos from the lobby cameras, the man's name, their dates, their room, everything. Her lips parted. No sound came out. I asked only one question, I said quietly. Why him? She broke instantly. Tears didn't fall, they burst. She stumbled backward, as if physical distance could soften the truth now staring at her. It wasn't, I didn't, I can explain, she whispered. Explain. People only use that word when the truth is too heavy to deny and too ugly to shape into a lie. I leaned back, emotionless, watching her crumble under the weight of her own decisions. Watching her realize the one thing she never considered. I didn't need her confession. I already had the truth. She expected shouting. She expected a shattered glass, a slammed door, a plea. Instead, I stood up slowly, walked to the front door, and opened it wide. The night air poured in, cold, unforgiving, honest. Her eyes widened. "What are you doing?" "Leaving," I said. "Or staying. That part's on you. But we're done on my terms, not yours." She shook her head violently. "No, no, please, I made a mistake. I didn't mean to." I raised a hand. Silence. "You ended this long before today," I said. "I just waited for the moment you thought you held the power." Her face twisted with panic. Real panic. The kind that changes people. "I thought you'd fight for us," she whispered. "I did," I said. Quietly. Longer than you deserved. I stepped aside, holding the door open for her. That was the real punishment. Not yelling, not crying, not revenge. Just letting her see that the man she expected to break had already stepped beyond her reach. She took one step forward, one step outside, and the moment the air hit her face, I watched regret strike her like lightning. She finally understood. She didn't lose me today. She lost me the moment she betrayed me. Today, she just got to see it. The house felt different when she left. Not empty, free. Not quiet, peaceful. I sat back down at the table, the envelope still open, pages scattered like remnants of a life already dead. For the first time in months, I could breathe without feeling the weight of suspicion pressing against my ribs. People think closure comes from forgiveness. It doesn't. Closure comes from clarity, from understanding the truth so completely that there's no room left for what-ifs. She thought she ended us, but I was the one who walked away. She thought I'd beg. She thought I'd shatter. Instead, I opened the door. Not to throw her out, she chose the walk. My final thoughts were simple. Some people break you slowly. Some expect you to chase them even as they walk towards someone else. But the moment you stop chasing, they turn around and realize what they lost. I didn't say goodbye when she left. I didn't need to. The truth had already closed that door long before I ever touched it. And as I sat there, staring at the empty doorway, one final thought settled quietly, brutally, and undeniably in my mind.